Hello, and welcome. I'm just doing my own stream today, tying in information on World Anvil, which I'll go into in a minute, with a bit of map making on Dungeonfog. Dungeonfog is an amazing map making tool I've been using for quite a while now. I am not an artist at all. I struggle doing a stick man. But with this, I've been able to create some pretty decent maps. I am not at the standard of professional map makers, like people like Kaora. They are just way beyond me. For a second, but I'll just give you a little insight into the kind of stuff that I do. Now, let's get my screen sorted. In my world, I have a country called Nardvar, very Nordic based. And give me a minute, I'll just sort my chat box out and everything like that. But it is overemphasized and give them a bit of a twist. I like to make things my own. I like to take inspiration from places, but I don't like to copy. I'm just capitalising that. In this Nardvar, north is frozen wastes, as you can imagine. And let's go to actually view. It's a little hint. As a very cold country, and long ago, there's this queen that was nicknamed the Ice Queen of Nardvar. She was once very noble, very pure, but she was turned evil. Really dark powers. I won't go into the story too much because I could do a whole other stream on that. But she was given this stone called the Alden Stone. It's mined in the depths of the Caldspear Mountains late in the dark times of the Third Era. A strange stone was cut from the earth as one large crystal, the likes of which have never been seen before. Really should breathe. No one knew what this form of rock was, and nobody has seen one since. Considered at the time to be the shard of a fallen star, its natural pale blue luminescence was regarded as some form of powerful magic that they did not understand. This was taken to the tribe's leaders, and it was decided to search for the kingdom's greatest craftsman, skilled enough to cut the gem and set it in a base deserving of its grandeur. I need to expand more on that, but I am intending to include this story or possible story in a game that I'm not too sure whether it's going to be Pathfinder or D&D. It's going to be one or two. I'm leaning towards Pathfinder, but there's a possible plot hook here. I mean, if this thing was found again, no one understands its power. It was so long ago. The story is regarded as myth. So it could very well be underestimated, with its obvious risks. As I said here, it's spread. The story is a common myth amongst the people in Nardvar, although it's not regarded as history, as it should be, but merely just a story. Very few believe it to be true, and if this stone should ever be found again, this disbelief could prove their downfall, as its power is not to be underestimated. For some reason I can't breathe today. So, with this, I wanted to design a map to go with this. So I'm going to be using Dungeonfog for a little while. I don't know how long I'll be streaming today. I'll at least get part of the cave I intend to do sorted to go with this story. So if they ever should come into the area or come across this story, so I check it out and go, boom, there you go. Now, excuse me, I just need a drink. Stay hydrated. Water keeps the brain moving. But most people are not too sure about me. So first thing to do is I like to take the grid down a little bit, because it can actually, if it's too bright, it can actually obstruct what you're trying to do, at least for me anyway. Take that down. Excuse me, my throat's going a bit weird. What was in that water? It's only supposed to be water. Anyway, so being a cave underground with sort of basic grass texture that you get, not going to cut it. If you wondered why the screen is a bit compact, it's because I have this screen shrunk down a bit so I can see my chat just off to the side. Normally it's a bit bigger than that. So we need to look for a decent sort of underground texture. Metal. Not going to cut it. So we want underground. Probably go. Cave entrance is the base of a mountain. So trying to think of. Well, that'll at least do for now. I may go into doing the entranceway to the cave later. I'm at the moment just doing the underground. I'd like to get started, then I can go from there. I actually don't have any plan for this at all. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like to just wing it. So what I'm doing now is changing the saturation. At the bottom here you get your hue, get saturation, and get your light. Underground is going to be quite dark. I want the colour to pop out. So it's basically going to be a battle map style. I'm doing. To check something. So, and here you have your room tool. It's not going to be so much of a how-to video because there are dozens of them out there made by better people than me. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to zoom out a bit, I think. So I've set the map to 30 by 30 for now. I'm not sure how big this cave is going to be. I have a rough idea of what I want, but we'll see how it goes. Probably only going to be streaming for about an hour or so. It usually takes me a good few hours to do a map properly, to get all the little fine details in the assets and the lighting and things like that. So basically the idea I'm going for is there's a long lost hidden fortress temple, maybe, underground, that this cult that still cling to the beliefs of this Ice Queen. They want to bring her back because they're bonkers. And they're going to enact some sort of arcane ritual to summon her. The Queen was once human, but with the power of the Alden Stone and the dark magic that corrupted her, she then ascended to a form of being that can be summoned. She was once destroyed, but hey, it's fantasy. These things never last. So what I've done here is just... Do I want it 10 foot? No. I want it longer than that. So I just want to get the little entranceway done first. You hold down the shift key. You can disable the snap to grid. So without the shift key, you see here it's going to the grid points. Without it, I'm free. Sorry, I've had too much sugar today. If anyone's ever been caving, which I have many years ago, you know that these things don't follow straight lines much. There, I just made a mistake at the end because I was looking at the camera instead of what I was doing. But it's not to worry because you get all these points here. Now I've got this one extra little point there. Select it, hit delete, boom, done. There is another tool. It's called the not draw brush, not that one. Oh, you can use that one. But draw shape, you get a similar outline, but you don't get so much of the shadow that I like with a room tool. And you can change these. I've got it set to cave wall, which is being a cave, but you can have it normal, below ground, basement and things like that. You have slightly advanced where you set various shadows, things like that. So I am being cave. Obviously, I'm using cave. Now, to start with, your map won't look much. But a bit of work. What I've done there is I've selected the room. This is called a dungeon. Then you select the line, and you can go to this switch here, but hidden. So you get an open mouth of the cave. So everyone, how is my audio coming across? If anyone's here, just let me know if you can actually hear me, because yesterday I did a stream and about 2 or 3 minutes at the start I was completely silent. Oops. Big oops. I'll go here. Now what do I want? No, I want that, want that, want that. I'm going to hide that wall. Okay, so it's not a doorway or anything. Now in this, I could have just carried on and drawn out the whole cave in one room. But for this system, that's a lot for it to handle. So it's usually better to keep it to smaller sections, and it can load easier and it won't crash or anything like that. All I'm going to do is have this come off. And form a rather narrow passage. What I want. Now I'll have to go this way. Cave. Really thin down. So again, go and hide that wall. And there we go. One very thin down cave. And oh dear, it seems we got near the edge. Not to worry. Guys, just go here and add how much? Add another 10 squares. I'm going to have this open up to quite a large room. Not actually sure what you'd call it in a cave. I went caving once, and that was when I was a kid, early teenager at least. So. And again, just hide. Do I? Do I? Yes. Toying with the idea of maybe having a little secret door there or something like that, but hide it for now. So have the beginnings of a cave. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm thinking this is a secret underground, old abandoned temple or something like that. But it's going to be hard to get to. I mean, anyone wandering around the area outside this cave could try and go in here for shelter if there's a blizzard outside or something like that. Then we go exploring. I mean, it's not that far to go to this cavern. So if I put the temple or whatever here, it could very easily be discovered. It's going to have to be a lot more secret than that. So what can I do? No. That terrain. See here, you're given this nice little asset here. Just press Control Shift. And as I normally do, I then decide to move it. So what you do is you click the room, click the asset. So there is the entrance to another level of this cave. I'll go to just a little bit. I'm thinking people have been here. So you've got a bunch of basic Dungeonfog assets that I've been using here. I've also uploaded a ton of my own. Nope, there's not a camp. Oh, campfire. I could use that. Campfire, round fire pit maybe. I want to see if there's anything else I can use. It's not suitable. It's not suitable for this one, but I do like this fireplace. Viking fireplace. That is a good asset. I definitely don't want a fire hydrant. Fire hydrant in a fantasy setting. Where would you set up a campfire? Set it near the entrance so you don't get smoked out. I can use this. Raging fire. That does cover more of the asset. I let that automatically set to lights. In here you can adjust all the fire settings. Oh, light settings. Don't ask. My brain's not with it today. How much glow would a campfire give off? I should know this. I do like going out in the forest. Yeah, I think I'll do. Now you can set the colours and everything of the asset itself. I'll do. If I hold down the Alt key, you can then select the asset that's underneath it. I think that looks a bit too bright at times, so I'll tone that down. Now what I'd like to do is, before I move on to the underground level, well, the next level down, say this is underground, I like to populate this area with a little bit of just general crap that would be there. Back door. Would be a little bit of gravel. Because it looks rather sort of bland at the moment. Yeah. Readjust that, because I have a couple of people that have been sleeping here, but they're not 10 foot tall. Yeah, that'll do. Would help if I didn't step on my wire. Cave. Being a cave. I'll be a bit clumsy. I've dropped a lantern. And it's broken. Oh, it's definitely going to be a pickaxe. Hey! It's a bit big for a pickaxe. 10 foot tall pickaxe. Yeah, one thing to remember when you're doing things like this is scale. Even that's a bit big. If you put a pickaxe in, make sure it's not over 5 foot tall. Hello, RPG Dinosaur Bob. Good to see you here. Yep, I think some mining equipment. We don't want to know that big. It's these little bits that, they're tiny, tend to bring the map to life a bit. Grid scale. Give me a second. Size 70. Oh, 1 second. I will activate my real world units, which I'll prefer to do. So 1 square is 5 foot. It's 30 by 30. Grid size is 70. I tend to just go with the bog standard default settings, and then adjust the size of my map to what I need. Thirsty today. Now I'm going to go down to the entrance because, yeah, that's not going to be tidy. I think starter's going to use a brush. I do love that. Right, I'm not going to use this, but I am going to show you this. This is one I did myself. Be perfect. Something like an Avernus setting. Anyway. All that styles. Outside is all snowy. Oh, I don't want it 900. $200. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is ramp up the softness, bring down the opacity a bit. You'll see why in a minute. Thickness, and bring that down. Softness down. And just don't like that. I want it to fade. So it's the snow's been blown in. Blown in, been carted in, whatever. Gradually fade as you go in. Now if I up the brightness a bit. I'll redo that. And now is when my computer decides to play up. Give me a minute. Oh, I have a problem. Because I've not saved this yet. I might actually... This doesn't load soon, or I might actually lose the line. I'll have to start again. I don't want to do. Fingers crossed. Please load. Please load. That would suck if I lose it. Just about to save it as well. But anyway, back to World Anvil. Well, that decides what it wants to do. Go to Nardvar. Nardvar. I've not done much to this. I've just literally put a little note down on here to do a lot of work on it. No. Still going. So, my country Nardvar, as you can imagine, it's situated north of Darmoria. Nardvar is mainly frozen waste with Mount Ormir, a large volcano to the north of the country. The landscape breeds a hardy people, much like Stolzland to its south, whereas the southern cousins are hardened by having to strive to make a living from a rocky landscape. In Nardvar, they're hardened to the freezing climate. And can do. Here we go, is Nardvar. It's not something there. Here's this Caspian Mountains, and the cave that I'm drawing is around about this area here. I will go over at some point and pin everything on World Anvil and that. But I made this map in Incarnate, and on there you can save details to icons, which I've done for a lot of the main cities and things, especially the capital cities of everything. Got the name there, a little bit of notes, but I then finances changed and I had to cut all my subscriptions. I've not activated the Nardvar one, Incarnate one yet. So all my information saved in there is locked in there because I can't get into it because I can't afford the subscription yet. Nope. It really doesn't want to work, does it? Great. I haven't done much. It's a bit annoying. 40 minutes work, but I highly doubt anything has been saved. No. Right. Not to worry. Just have to make it better. Just bear with me, I apologise for this. Dungeonfog seems to be having an issue. Right. Yeah. Cave. Note to self. Remember to delete what's there previously before entering another name. Happens. Yes, it usually happens to me. I've not done the stream yet without a technical glitch of some sort. But yesterday I had about 2 or 3 minutes at the start where I was muted. I muted my microphone while I was setting up and then forgot to take it off. At least it's not my error this time. But yes, remember to save often. Dungeonfog does actually have a nice little feature in it. It'll autosave quite regularly. But you have to remember to make the initial save. Which I was about to do. Well, it's not going to be the same. I'm going to make an improvement actually. I may not have that hole. Might have it lead down and down and down. Oh, yeah, Dinosaur Bob. Sunday I had a feedback loop at the start of the stream. Infinite echoes. Oh, yeah. That would be annoying. I'll just go back over what already previously done. Hide that. Hide that. What I'm going to do is have it curve around this time. Ooh, I had to rebuild feed stream on the fly. Oh, I bet that was annoying. It's not working. Right. Not again. It's not. Aha. Yeah, that is very true. Fortunately, the World Anvil folks are sympathetic, yeah. Oh, excuse me. I've been hunched forward too long. Oh, I'm getting too old for that. That's the thing, when you're designing maps like this, take regular breaks and loosen your back a bit. I've learnt the hard way. You spend too much time on the computer. No. No save, yes. Thankfully, I've already made the initial save. So I'm unlikely to lose much if anything does happen. But I think I like this actually. I think I prefer this. It's got this initial little cavern here. If anyone's just coming in to shelter from the elements, most likely set up a little camp here and not find what's underneath. I'll probably change that. Now, here I've made a little bit too thin for my liking. So what I can do is that. Just grab a node, make sure you get it in the center, and just pull it. Be handy. Two things to remember: save and hydrate. We're going to have this come around. We will remove that wall in a minute. And this is going further and further down underground. Oh, I will delete that in a minute. I don't like this sort of triangle here, but not to worry, because I can edit that. Grab that, hit delete, gone. My eye's itching. Trying to think how it would lead down to the. I know. I know. That's what I love about this. Place it in a room, it'll stay to that room. It won't overflow to this. So you can have it like that. Like that. And save. Right. Spraying again, shall we? Fingers crossed. I've saved it now. There you go. Don't have to be too delicate with it. And go over the edge. You can just go over here. Doesn't matter. Admittedly, image will stay there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. So I will delete that because every time I click out of something, I'm going to catch that. Serves me right for being silly. So I just started using Dungeonfog and Incarnate myself. I've been using CC and DD for years. DD is that Dungeon Draft. No, I don't know what the CC is. I'll probably kick myself if I find out. Now, assets. Take my caps lock off. This is one huge campfire. Turn that down because it is a bit too light. It will get exciting in a minute. Honest. How big should we have the fire? Ah, yeah. Campaign cartographer. Can't even speak now. Yeah. I have heard of campaign cartographer. Fat fingers, yeah. I know the feeling, I get that. I'm forever catching keys next to the one I want. All the time. What I might do, because fire is a little see-through, just turn down the opacity a bit. There you go, it's a little bit more realistic. Do I like that? No, I don't. Bring that down there. It's a bit better. Should I have... No, I'm not going to put a barricade this time. Playing too much Skyrim. That's what it is. That'll be one big... Actually, if the grid is 5 foot, what is it? The grid is 5 foot. Okay, just over for a roll mat. This. Your people are a bit bigger than 5 foot. Eviscerated animal. Cooking a dinner. So with this is the potential for an encounter to come in. Who's in this little camp? Are they friendly? Are they hostile? Who knows? With me as DM, probably hostile. It's still a bit bland. It needs more in there. Trick is, don't overcrowd it, but don't leave it too blank either. I think what would be in here? Probably not a gravestone. Kind of hard to dig a grave in rock. Possible, but I certainly wouldn't want to try. Yeah, I like that. Seen a lot of cases, loose stones and things around. It's never completely smooth. Twigs. There. Seem to have one I've not seen before. Keyboard. Okay, not seen that before. That's a new addition there. The RPGX modern assets. They just add things. Dungeon. Something I like doing, a sort of fantasy dungeon. Always have a skeleton. Because it makes you think twice. Who was that person? How did they die? Is the same going to happen to me? A desaturate or phone's going to be that colour? Probably not. Bring that down a bit to there. If you've ever played Skyrim, you know that just in the middle of nowhere, you just find some random boxes and crates, barrels and things that have no reason to be there at all. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's have a mining backpack. Not going to be that big. Whenever I put a backpack down, I always look to mine on the floor, just over there. One for my camping kit. See that? I'll do. That's okay for now for that room. Oh yes, I forgot. The broken lantern. Hi, Mortal Origins. How are you today? Good to see you here. Yeah, just joined. Just got home from work. Decided to stop by and say hi. Hello. Glad to see you. Pickaxe. Level. What I'm going to do is have that there. Is the shovel 5 foot tall? No, I don't think so. So that needs to scale down a bit. I'm not too sure how much longer I'll be streaming. We've done an hour so far. I'll probably continue this another day. Don't know if I'll do anything tomorrow. Might take a break. I'll be video editing tomorrow. Not at the same time. I've got a game at about 7:30 tomorrow night UK time. Okay. It's a good way to get ideas. You just put in a word. So broken is a good one, and you just get all the broken bits and pieces that you could have. Let's have one of these. No. Got a Dungeonfog question. Do monthly or periodic asset packs automatically load into the app, or do I have to import them from somewhere? No, all the built-in Dungeonfog assets, they upload themselves. So you don't have to do anything, you get them automatically. The only ones I've uploaded myself are ones from other sources. And I really should look at the camera instead of the chat box. You're there, you're not there. So apologies for that. It's a very bad habit of mine. I'm still getting used to talking to a camera. I've got used to playing online games, just voice on Dungeonfog. Discord begins with a D. It confuses me. I'm easily confused. Yes, I've got used to playing on Discord, but doing a live stream, talking to a camera, I'm still getting used to. What I like to do is just put things in to break up the landscape. I don't like, as I mentioned before, I don't like to have things too sort of bare. You just think what would be there and put something down. Open barrel, closed barrel. We're going to have a broken box and a broken barrel. You start to wonder what the hell are they doing. I'm going to have a full barrel of some sort of equipment. It doesn't have to make sense, it just has to look good. Wow. I find Dungeonfog a lot better than other ones I've tried. With no offense to things like Roll20. Roll20 is very good, but I find Dungeonfog a lot more realistic. Not so pastel coloured and things like that. Some map-making tools can be very sketchy in their style, assets and things, whereas Dungeonfog, to me, it's a little bit better quality. I will show. In fact, I will show you another one of my maps. Show you what I mean. Which one? It's all the maps that I've made. Which one? This is one. I made this map inspired by kind of Descent into Avernus. At one point I really wanted to run an Avernus game. I've just not got around to it yet. There you go. And this is a completed map. The Watchtower of Voloncar. It's completely made up. In my campaign, I was going to have it start here, and I was going to do the campaign a little bit different. I tend not to just go by the book. I like to make things my own, and I was going to go a bit by the book, and also inspired by the Descent into Avernus stream by the great GM, Guy Skylanders. He did an awesome stream, and he did a prequel, or a kind of prequel to the book, and it was amazing. I absolutely I binge watched the whole stream, the whole show. Loved it. There's one thing I would recommend down here. When you do make a map, you can choose to share it with the communities. If you do, My personal feeling. Sorry, I shouldn't tap my mic. I put my name on it. If you want to know how to do the lighting effect of the lava, I got a torch that had its inbuilt light settings. It makes sense to your work. Yes, yeah. I always sign my work. Apart from a very early one, so I knew better. But yeah, I got a torch, got the light settings to how I want to get the effect that I want, and then just turn down the opacity on the torch. If I can find it, I'll show you what I mean. No, I'm not going to go hunting through all that. There's brush after brush after brush, and there's a tiny little invisible torch. There's somewhere. That's how you get the lava effect. I do have lava. If I go here and here, they've got collapse all these volcanic. You got the volcanic rock, self-explanatory. This kind of solidified volcanic rock. And you got the lava patterns there. There is so much on the basic, or in the built, not the basic, the built-in Dungeonfog patterns and assets and everything. To get you started, you won't need to upload your own. Here, I want to show you this. Gargoyles poking their head out of the wall with a pool of blood underneath. Yes, you can. Lord Lawrence said, can you import textures, props and tiles you find online to Dungeonfog? Yes, and it is very, very easy. In fact, I'll delete that one now. Yeah, those gargoyles, I was going to have them constantly spewing blood into those pools underneath them because, hey, it's Avernus. Why not? To upload your own stuff, go to assets there. Thankfully, it, as you see, it saved it for me. Go make a cup of tea, come back. It might actually load up. I think my internet in the air. And here you go. And you got your basic Dungeonfog. This is a bit more compact than it normally is because I've got the window shrunk down so I can see my chat. Then you go to my uploads, sit back and wait because I have about 1600 assets loaded in. So just let That is the thing, when you get to this kind of stage, yeah, you have a lot of assets. Every time you have to wait for it to load. When you've only got a few, it does it very, very fast, it's fine. But when you get to 1600, it takes a bit longer. Well, at least you have variety. Yes, yes. I was remember I was a patron of one company obviously on Patreon. Every month they released a pack. Sometimes it would be a map pack, other times it'd be an asset pack. And I went back into their back catalogue, for want of a better word, and just downloaded tons and tons of packs. And yeah, it's gone up to 1600 files. And I don't know why this isn't working. Ah, here we go. So you literally click and drag from your file folder, click there, or you got these up here, create new collection. You can create collection from current map, which is really handy. I've not actually used that yet, so I'm not really had to. You got create new collection. Then what you do is open up one of these, just click a random one, and you can even drag across into that an entire folder, and then go make a cup of tea. If you've got that, if you've got a couple hundred files or so in one folder, go make a cup of tea. Well, either that or it's just my internet, one or two. So as you see here, Death and Decay, you've got all different blood puddles. Nice, isn't I? Bloody and broken weapons. All sorts. But yeah. But at least that gives you a bit of an insight into Dungeonfog. I could go on for hours and hours and hours doing this, because I'm going to do another level underneath this one. In fact, I'll show you. To do that, you go to up here. I've named this level. Yes, it is very organised. It's very, very easy to use and very easy to pick up as well. So don't be afraid. Just have a play. Do something simple to start with. Just do a house, I would recommend to start with. And then just go from there. Have a play, change things around. Don't worry if you make mistakes. One thing I would do is when you get in, draw your basic outline and then save. Unlike I did, because I had to redo this cave. It was just before you joined Immortal. As long as you get that initial save, the autosave feature will then kick in. But you can't do that unless you've made that initial. But then you go to here, you click that arrow there, you can have a new level above it. So if you're going upstairs or something, or you can have a new level below it if you're going further down underground or going to a basement, whatever. And you simply click there, boom, there you go. And if you want to once you've done that, if you want to change levels quickly, page up, page down. That easy. One button. Boom, boom. Also, if you notice, if I put my mouse over campfire there, go down on that level, because your mouse's cursor is there, you know exactly that that is exactly underneath the campfire. Okay, Dancer Bob, glad to see you join me. Thank you for staying, and I'll see you later. And yes, another really cool feature, if you want to say do a staircase, especially if it's a spiral staircase where it's on spirals down one spot, I'll pick this for now. You go Control D, and that makes a copy of that selected asset. You go right over there, page down, boom. And if you click that, put it down, you know that that is directly underneath. and I have to catch the end button as well. I don't want that. Delete. Sometimes the delete button doesn't work, but if it doesn't, so I'll put any old asset down. Boom. If it doesn't work, you just select the item and go to this bin icon here. Boom, gone. Hey, sorry, I'm just reading something on Discord. Okay. Right. Sorry, just getting things back. Another really useful tool on this. I just scroll that up because bugbear of mine. Right. Is layers and levels. If you put a level in that you don't want, just go to levels, unnamed. When it says unnamed level, you get 3 icons. You can move it up, you can move it down, or one that I want, bin. Get rid of it. One click. But that does mean be careful. Be very careful, because you could end up deleting a level that you don't want to delete. But you've got this undo button here, or it's just Control Z, undo. Like that. Please wait. There you go. Unnamed level back. No, I don't want you. Goodbye. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh. The only problem is, when you do this for so long, you hunch forward like that quite a lot. And it starts aching. Take regular breaks. Don't end up with a back like mine. Also, you can insert description, and then you can go to GM notes, because this isn't just a map making tool. You can have all your descriptions. I tend not to do this because I export my maps, these on VTT, Virtual Tabletop like Fantasy Grounds. So obviously you don't get the notes with that, but if you wanted to write your sort of your own sort of sticky notes and things, then you can do that here. Uh-oh. Fingers crossed, just F5, refresh. Not too sure what happened there. My browser doesn't like me, apparently. The world map you showed on stream was also made in Dungeonfog. No, it wasn't. That was made in Incarnate. Yeah, that's another pretty decent tool. I made that using their subscription, and not long after I made that, my finances changed and I had to cut out all my subscriptions, even the Dungeonfog and World Anvil ones before. Wonderdraft. Yes, I want to use that. I've not got round to it yet. Again, I think that's a one-time buy. UK money, that's $29.99. I believe. When I get the money, yes, I'll be using one. I will be trying Wonder Draft. At the moment, I'm a hotel barman that's been furloughed, so most things have to wait. Wonder Draft is supposed to be very, very good. I want to use it. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to do to this map for tonight. Because I've been streaming for an hour and a half. My eyes are going to be... I'll probably do some more work to this a lot later. But before I go, I do want to show you something interesting. Raging Fire. I'm going to make that, do that, and I'm going to insert a random asset. This is just a closed barrel, that'll do. I'm not even going to... I'm going to go down to here. This icon is your light source. You can set the asset to emit light if it's not already built in, or you can click this button and cast a shadow. Yes, and you can get some really nice effects with that. I don't want a barrel there. Actually, no, I'm going to just undo. So I can get back to that. Then remember, save. Now, before I go, I will show you another one of my maps. Again, I'm looking at the chat box. This one. Yeah. And you'll see those shadows in effect. There you go. That's what you could do with the shadows. I've used the invisible light source trick. Put it down here somewhere. And then set everything to cast a shadow. Yeah, simulating a sun, yes. And it's another map I made. This is a copy of an existing Descent into Avernus map. I downloaded the expanded DMs tool, or DMs bundle. I can't remember exactly what it's called. There's an extra pack made for Descent into Avernus. If you just hit Control and scroll wheel, mouse wheel, give it time to load. There you go, it's a little bit more shadow, etc. So you got all these horn torches there. They come from the Viking section, these ones. Ah, yes. This G2, when you select a room, you can name the room here, and I've put G2, there, comes up there. That's like a DM's key, map key. You can export with or without these room numbers and things. So I've done one of each. So one's the DM map, one's the PC map, and you can correlate that with certain information for that particular room. So the PCs enter this room, G2, you go to G2 on your notes. This is what's here. And you can move it around. And there's another little trick with these stairs. It's actually an asset that's bigger than the room itself, but when you put an asset in the room, Dungeonfog works out that it is in that room. So if there's any overlap, it'll cut it out at the wall. So you can get some, using that trick, you can get some pretty interesting effects. Same with these stairs here. Actual stair asset is a bit bigger. So you just draw a room. I hid this wall and that wall. There you go. There. Put the stair asset in. Make sure it's lined up. Well, I'll show you. I'll go to export, save. Give it a few seconds to save. And you see that this map doesn't have the room numbers at the moment, but if you go to view options here, show GM information, and they all come up. So you can export one like this with the numbers, wait for it to export, get that in the folder, whatever you want to do with it, come back, click that again, click export again, so you've got one with, one without. And you can also have, yes, it is nice, very handy. So if you go and buy a module, what I do is export the two. Especially for me, if I'm using Fantasy Grounds, load up the PC map, share that with the players, and you can keep the DM version on your screen for your own reference. And you've got grid options here. You can export it with or without grid. So you can export one with grid, one without. Over DM, one with, DM one without, PC one with, PC one without. It depends how many you want to export, really. I mean, Dungeonfog have really put a lot of thought into this system. They've thought of everything. You can even go to campaign. You can actually run a campaign from Dungeonfog. The only downside is the PCs can't move their own tokens around. But you can screen share. You can share the maps with them, and they tell you where they want to move, and you move them. And for that, you can even have tokens, which I find very, very useful because you can upload your own picture, like I've shown you before. There's a little menu in there, a little drop-down menu where it says props, textures, tokens. Upload it to tokens, and tokens. These are the built-in ones, because I'm not going to load up all my my own ones. Again, it'll take ages. Pick a zombie. You can customize. Kaora Dark Lord. Yeah, Kaora. He's a very, very good map artist, cartographer. He is fantastic. He's done a load of assets for this. There you go, to clear bevel tile. Maybe you want to do. And you set all your colours and things here. Tell you what, as it's a zombie, let's go stacked piles of bone. Change the colour to what you want. And there you go. You can put the token down, or another neat little tool. I use this as a token maker, so you can then go to save image as, save it to computer. Hey presto, you got your own custom token. Which is very, very nice indeed. There is another token making tool. I can never remember the name of. I actually prefer this because you get it's a lot more customization to it. Also, walls. You see here, I've got this curved wall. In the book, it wasn't quite a circle. Well, in the map I was copying from, it wasn't quite a circle. So I've done some sort of wizardry. When you select one wall, you get this menu pop up, little drop down menu here. Straight, circle, curved. Tell you what, because I don't want to change anything in this map. Witchcraft, yes. This map I spent a lot of time on, so I don't want to ruin anything in there. I'll show you in here. So you can have, tell you what, I'll show you how to make a circular room. I'll show you advanced. Instantly, it changed from the jagged cave type walls that you have here, and it's gone to, when you go to advanced, more of a building style straight wall, but you can set the shadows on both sides of the wall, whereas you put it to normal, you just set the overall shadow, and you, in advance, you get the options for outer wall and inner wall. The obvious benefits there. If you're design a map for a building, the inside could be wood panel, say, but the outside could be brick. Then go to here, click circle, and it does that. And you click back into the shape. Sometimes you need to click out of it and go back in. It depends on the size of the room. If you're doing a really small one, click out and click back in. Circle. Circle. And each one of these, you could grab this node here and change it. You can have like a crescent moon. Or some really weird shape. Anything you want. If we go straight, straight. I'll show you the curved. This is what I used to do that other room, where it's just slightly off circle. And you could do all sorts of funny shapes. But it's not like in that one. I went a little bit too silly with that one. And you can select these, cave inside, jagged inside, cave outside. Doesn't seem to do a lot on this one, but not on that one anyway. Anyway, I don't want that. Actually, it is. We'll take some getting used to start with, but not a lot. It is pretty easy to pick it up. Start simple and just go from there. Also, Dungeonfog have their own Discord, which is very, very handy. If you want to know anything, people in there are very, very useful. And the people that run Dungeonfog actually talk in the Discord, so they are actually very, very approachable and really nice guys as well. So I find them fantastic. Any questions I've ever had, they're more than happy to answer. You can certainly learn a lot of tips and tricks in a Dungeonfog Discord. I know a bit. I still have quite a lot to learn. Just little tricks and things. Oh, one thing I will show you is one little trick that I sussed out. If you want a building, say, I'll show you an example of this in a minute. So you've got your doors here. Also have windows in this one as well. Let's just pick any old door. Wait for it to load. You go along the wall. It won't put it inside the room. It's an intelligent tool. It will only go on a wall. You can snap it to grid or not. I have this set to not snap to grid. Put it there. Then say, let's get, I don't know. There's a light source inside. Right, you've got the open door. And say you've got a window. Let's go for a stained glass window here. Yes, Dungeonfog can make that very easy. But at the moment, you can't really have the light spill out the window and the door. There is a setting in here where you go to this light tool here and uncheck this blocks light, but with that it goes through the wall. What do? Not that. Oh, that's a really bright light, but well, actually hurting my eyes. Okay, so what you do is a little trickery. You then build another wall that goes from there, but what you don't do is go across around again. You go back down the route you came, click on that node, click on that node, that builds the wall there with an opening. Click, 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 and there you go. There's light spilling out the window and the door, but not the room. I'll just delete that, delete that. If I save that, I'll show you how I put that to use in another map. This is the maps I made for my Krenko's Way campaign that I ran. That was an interesting campaign. It's the from the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. It was fun. I love Ravnica. There you go. Got the upper level, the roof level. You can see the light spilling out the windows. Hey, Tropico Boy. You can see you here. May not be streaming much longer. I've already been going for, oh, wow, nearly 2 hours now. Hour and 50 minutes. I was only going to do an hour. Looks like I'll be spending a while video editing tomorrow. And page down, and you've got the interior. I've not put, this is the kitchen area here. I've not put anything in there because the PCs weren't going in there. So that's hidden from view from the PCs. It's just the actual seating area of the restaurant and this room here, which is where they needed to go. So you can see here all the lights spilling out onto the street, not coming through the walls. So no, it's a session that's already gone. This is actually the bit that you missed. I think this is the week after you had to leave the session, the campaign. Yeah, this is a bit after they came out of the sewers. And a little underground workshop. To Tropico Boy, who's one of the players in my Ravnica campaign. He's also my DM on a Sunday. Yeah, Roden was a blast. Yes, he really was. It was awesome. But you remember Faelish being mentioned? Well, actually got to meet him. Also, doors here, you can set them to be concealed. So if you can scroll right down to the bottom here, concealed. So like with the room numbers on the other map, when you deselect show GM information, this door will actually be hidden. So you can have the PC map without the secret door, and you have the DM map with the secret door. Again, very, very useful. Dungeonfog really have thought of everything. Also, on an unconfirmed date, we're still awaiting the announcement. They've been designing something called Project Deos, which is a whole new thing to Dungeonfog. It's a completely new system. It's literally ramped up to the nines. Sounds very, very interesting indeed. I'll probably do another stream or something when that comes out. But we really are just waiting for Dungeonfog to release the information and release the program. Waiting with bated breath. Tropical Boy, like I said to Immortal earlier, always sign my work. You see the curved wall. I just put a line across here, so I've gone to here, dragging a line down to there, and then just hit the circle. There you go, same with the pavement. What I've done is hidden walls. So I made this as a room. Change it on the layers to drop it down a layer. So I'm going to go to here, you go to layers, and you've got all your stage, all your walls and everything, so you can change the rooms up and down, layers. Similar to like a graphics program like Photoshop and things where they work by layers. Same here. And the pavement, just drop it right down, hide the walls, and you get the pavement effect. If you ever want to know what the shortcuts are, simply click this icon here, question mark, and there you go. I really need to learn some of these because I never use these numbered ones here. It would really help if I did, but I just got used to clicking the icon. Yep. If you want to move quickly around the map, hold the space bar. There you go. Or, no, that didn't work. Also, for some things, if you don't quite have the asset that you want, it's like I didn't quite have the pub sign or sign that I wanted. You can combine assets together. This is a wooden signpost with a flag. And there's actually a fish on there. So as if it's a model fish. So say it's a seafood restaurant or something like that. They specialise in seafood. But they've got the hog roast as well. So they don't just do seafood, they do hog roast as well. It's like this was actually power cables and a pig above a Viking fire pit. There's loads and loads I could show you, but I think I'm going to call it a night now. So if you like what I do, I'll be doing various other streams. So I'll also be posting this on YouTube tomorrow. I'll edit the video and post it up. So please watch that, like, subscribe. Also, as a lot of you know, Tropico Boy and Immortal know, I am on Discord. The link is on my profile. Also will be a link in the description on my YouTube. No, Tropico Boy. Thank you. So you're welcome to join me in Discord. I'm also on Patreon, so if anyone would like to support what I do, because all the stuff is not cheap. I want to also get better equipment, a better camera, better lighting and things like that. So, as you can imagine, it's not cheap. So if people do want to support me, you don't have to, but if you do, I very greatly appreciate it. And I also have certain bonuses, various bonuses depending on the tiers in Patreon. So I think that's about it. Also on Instagram, but I tend not to use that much. The link is out somewhere, but it's mainly Discord, Patreon, YouTube, Twitch that I'm on. Anyway, thank you for a good night. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in the next stream. Thank you. Goodbye.